So, good morning. This is from Clonakilty Ambulance Base. So, this is my partner, Des. Des is going to be my cameraman, so I better give him my phone and we're going to show you around the ambulance. Come follow me. So, I suppose what has changed for our calls now is the COVID-19 calls. Our ambulance has to be like spotless. So as you can see here, we have bags covering our seats. They've all been cleaned and washed down for the next call. And if we do get a COVID-19 call, a lot of our gear, for instance, the suction unit, sharp spin, we have to put them all into the cupboards so that there's minimum risk. And our bags, everything else, we have an EPCR here. This is, we get all the patient's information on. This goes up the front and we close the window so that, no contamination could go through. But we have to put cling film all over this and the printer. Cling film everything that can't be removed. We remove all the gloves, everything, so it's basically a skeleton. So I'm going to show you what we wear on COVID-19 calls. I'll start with the gown. Just have to cover all our skin really, and that there's no way we can get contaminated. And I've a hairnet to cover our hair, which I suppose it's handy for girls with long hair. And our mask, which can get quite warm, and especially in a hot day. But you feel quite safe when you do have it on, And just adjust it to make sure it's right and the seal is right. And this is the mask. My goggles, which look like ski goggles. And also we got some visors, which were actually made by Kinsale Community School. And they've donated some, which are great. Just gives you that extra bit of protection. So, and last of all, we wear 2 pairs of gloves. Just to cover over the sleeves. So obviously my partner would tie this for me. He's my cameraman at the moment. So there we go. We wear these masks then going into, normal calls that aren't confirmed COVID-19 calls, and we'd have a gown as well. So if we went into someone with a chest pain or a broken leg, this is what we actually wear. So, and also a pair of glasses, just to cover our eyes. Yeah. This is where we have some, refreshments. We wait until we get our calls, and we just go from there.
Very good.
There we go. That's our call now for the day.
Very good. Off you go.
You can follow me out there now.
So how many calls would you do a day?
We could do anything from 1 call up to 7 calls. It all depends, really.
A busy day.
Yeah. When we go to Cork City with calls, we for the nearest ambulance, we get calls up to the city as well. So, yeah. So come with us and we'll show you what it's like. Into a chest pain. So jump in and up we go.
Capture open. 999 mode activated. Motion lock activated. CCTV in operation.
Well, just going out to the main road.
So, we're going to go over to Clare Shorten, who we've just seen in the video at work, and we're just going to have a chat with her. So welcome, Clare.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Clare, tell us a little bit about where you're from.
So I am originally from Moraa in Inniskeen. I grew up on the farm there. My nephew Adam is there now, Adam Shorten. I moved when I was 6 with my parents to Ballineen, and my mom was Anna Shorten and my dad was John Shorten.
Okay.
So they've passed away. Someone might know my aunt Lily Shorten.
Yeah, a lot of people know Lily.
Yeah, I think everyone knows Lily. So,
very good. Yeah. And so we've seen you at work there a little while ago, and you're in your uniform there. How long have you been a paramedic?
I've been a paramedic nearly 20 years now. I started off working in Bantry for a little while, and then I moved back to Cork City working. And then I've been in Clonakilty for about 7 years now. So I work out of Clonakilty base with my partner Des. I've been working with him for the past 7 years, and we actually worked in Cork for a good few years before that as well. So
very good.
He's probably like my work husband.
And have you always wanted to work in the ambulance service?
I won't say I always have, but I think it was definitely... it's the perfect job for me. I worked in Australia for a little while. I went to Australia when I was about 19, and I worked as an enrolled nurse. I was in Petersham in a rehabilitation hospital, and then I went to Bronte, which is an old people's hostel, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. I kind of fell into those jobs really and became an enrolled nurse. It wasn't probably what I had planned. And when I came home then I worked as a care assistant in the Mercy Hospital down in ICU. So I was always kind of involved with the more traumatic side of things, and I suppose the excitement. And so, I decided, God, this is what I really, really like. Mm-hmm. So I went off, I think it was 2001. It was through UCD in Dublin, and that is me since, and I probably couldn't pick out a better job for my personality, or every day is different.
You were telling me the other day that when you're off duty you also volunteer with West Cork Rapid Responders. Yeah. So that's great. I have my little black box with my defibrillator and all that. So we get some messages through from ambulance control if there was a cardiac arrest in the area. So if I was off and able to respond, I would. So so even when you're off duty, you're on duty.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm lucky we have an au pair, and when she's here, that I can just drop everything and go. Yeah.
And over the last year, how often would you have been called?
I've probably done maybe about 10 calls, 11.
Right.
You might get 2 in 1 week, and then you mightn't get anything for a month.
Yeah. And they mostly be cardiac arrests?
Cardiac arrests, or we could have car crashes or chest pains or people having strokes. Right. It's a very, really, but I suppose at the moment it might be only cardiac arrest we'd respond to, and we have to be very careful with this COVID-19. We have to gown up and suit up going into everything, so it's quite hard to be a lone responder and do all this on your own carefully as well.
Doing your best. Yeah. And so I had a question here for you as well. Just wondering, when you're finished your day's work and you kind of come home after especially a traumatic day, maybe a very busy day, what's that like?
You have to kind of sit down and nearly debrief yourself a small bit, have a cup of tea. I think you come home and you're quite thankful, if your family are safe at home, you kind of give them a hug, and it's like you take off your uniform and you're like a different person. And I don't know if it sounds strange, when you put on your uniform, you feel like you have this armor on that you can do anything.
You're in a role.
When it's off, then it's a little different story. You go back to mammy mode.
Very good, which is very important too. And would you say that your faith informs what you do, or is a big part of your life?
I suppose it is, and it helps you a lot. I suppose it keeps me strong in the job, really. Because people do put their trust in you. It's when they most need you. So it does help you. It really does.
Yeah, All right. And would you kind of end the day with being thankful and saying thanks to God?
Yeah, you would, or even if you were going out to a call that it might be quite serious, you might have a little prayer in your head then saying, look, I hope this is going to go well and we're going to get a good outcome out of it, you know.
Very good.
So, it definitely does help.
Very good. Clare, I know everybody around the countryside and people here in West Cork are always talking about how much we're indebted to those who do frontline jobs. And it's wonderful to be able to see what you do and also have a chat with you as well. So thank you very much for being involved and chatting to us this morning.
That's great. Thank you so much. And the other thing is there, I think people are so frightened about the whole COVID-19 at the moment. If they have a chest pain or if they have anything that's serious, don't be afraid in calling an ambulance or going to your A&E, because there is designated areas and you will be protected, because I think people are just so scared and so frightened of this whole thing. Just don't let anything slip by that could have been serious.
Yeah, very good.
Call for a bit of help when you do need it.
Very good. You're there, willing and able, and it's safe to use your services.
Yes, exactly. It's very safe. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Clare, thank you so much for giving so much of your time and also showing us around the ambulance base there earlier.
That's
and
great.
I hope it maybe even inspires some of our people watching that it might be something that they'd like to do in the future.
Exactly.
Well.
Yeah, it's great. And thank you for having me.
Very good. And thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
After the interview was finished, Clare sent me a few photographs of the Remembrance Garden at the Clonakilty base, which was put in memory of John O'Mahony from Ballinascarthy, one of their team members who died in a crash in 2005. And so we dedicate this video to him and to all of those who work in our emergency services in these times.